We're going to dive into European football once again. We're going to be talking Ozil to Fenerbahce. Diego Simeone's been talking to the media, saying some interesting stuff. We're also going to talk Timo Werner to Juventus and finish things off with the Champions League potentially being played in New York. Hello, welcome back to the Onefootball Daily, where we give you all the big news in football. No, Matt's not back still. I'm on loan, of course, on the Onefootball channel, so make sure, of course, to subscribe if you're new. But let's get to the news. So first up, let's talk about German international Mesut Ozil moving potentially to Fenerbahce. Arsenal signed Mesut Ozil down to a new deal last season for £350,000 per week. The big thing here, though, is Unai Emery has started to use other players as a number 10, frustrating Mesut Ozil. Of course, Aaron Ramsey's played there, Iwobi's fitted in there, and potentially Henrik Mkhitaryan could be seen in that central area. That's angered the German international, and they clashed before the game against West Ham when Unai Emery told him that he wasn't going to play. The big thing here is that Ozil is a number 10. He's a playmaker. He wants to be in that central area behind a striker, and being forced to play on the right-hand side, not his favoured position. But if you look at the stats, they pretty much back up Unai Emery, with Mesut Ozil only creating 3 chances in 3 Premier League games this season. Maybe they should sell him to Fenerbahce. The fee is reported to be around £42 million. Anyway guys, let's move on to some more news. Diego Simeone with quotes galore. There was an interview with the Spanish press, and of course Simeone dropped some absolute bangers. First up, he was asked whether he would have Neymar or Mbappe, of course the 2 PSG superstars. Simeone going with an interesting option, going with Neymar, of course, over Mbappe. Imagine Neymar in that strike force. We're already talking Diego Costa, we're talking Griezmann. Throwing someone like Neymar into that mix would be absolutely filthy. But that's just a dream, and that probably won't happen. Simeone also spoke about the goalkeeping situation in Madrid, of course talking about Courtois' move back to Real, and saying that Oblak would still be a starter if Courtois went back to Atletico. Oblak, of course, having a fantastic clean sheet record during his time under Simeone. Protected, but has made some absolute massive saves. Simeone also spoke about Ronaldo's move to Juventus, saying that Atletico are a lot closer to Real Madrid now. The Portuguese superstar has moved to Turin. Interesting side again, Simeone looking to win the Champions League this season and has got the stars to do it. Maybe it's time for Atletico Madrid fans to turn this off right now, because Simeone also spoke about him wanting to coach Inter Milan later on in his career. He spoke about his love for the city of Milan and how he wants to go back to a club that he used to play for. Anyway guys, let's move on to some more coach chat. That is, of course, Thomas Tuchel to talk about his goalkeeping position. Gigi Buffon was signed for PSG in the summer on a free transfer from Juventus. At 40 years old, with that experience and ability on the ball, but also the command and the leadership that PSG lack. Of course, in the Champions League, they've lost some big leads over the last few seasons. Someone like Buffon in goal would be perfect for that, for getting the guys going in these big games. But of course, Tuchel has decided to go with Areola above Gigi Buffon. Areola, a younger keeper at 25 years old. You know, agility is very, very good, but I think there's mistakes in him. I think that Thomas Tuchel is looking for the future, the long-term play, with going with a younger keeper over someone like Gigi Buffon. It is time to move on to another transfer story, that is Timo Werner to Juventus. Reported in the Italian press today that they want to go after the superstar from Germany, from RB Leipzig, to replace, of course, Mario Mandzukic. Mandzukic has done so well at Juventus, been used in a number of different positions, in a number of different systems by Max Allegri. But he's getting a bit old, and Juve are looking for the future. Timo Werner could be that guy. In 81 games for RB Leipzig, he's been directly involved in 60 goals. That, of course, is scoring 42 and getting 18 assists. What he brings, or what he would bring to Juve, is pace, ability on the ball, and ability to create something out of nothing. For Juventus, it would be very exciting to see a front three of Paulo Dybala, Timo Werner, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo. Pace, power, and ability on the finish, that front three would be absolutely deadly. It's going to cost them a lot of money though, because Timo Werner has just signed a new deal at RB Leipzig, so we're talking potentially £80 million. On to the final bit of news today, that is of course the Champions League final could be played in America in the future. There's ongoing talks between the UEFA and America in terms of bringing the Champions League final to New York. Although this would be an excellent move for fans around the world to go and see the top teams in Europe, you got to think of the average match-going fan. They may have to shell out a lot of money to fly over the Atlantic and go and watch a game in New York. But anyway guys, make sure of course to like the goddamn video, subscribe to Onefootball if you're new. I've been Statman Dave, I'll be back tomorrow. See you then.